all type of gezerot de Rabbanan, which means things that Chachamim establish. I can't even hear myself. So we have on Shabbat a couple of halachot that Chachamim establish, to put a certain fence and barrier not to come into things that are asur from the Torah. One of the things is taking medicine during Shabbat. Taking medicine during Shabbat, Chachamim forbid it. We're not allowed to take medicine during Shabbat. Why not? Because medicine is made up in a way that it's called shechikat samamanim. Shechikat samamanim means actually grind all type of herbs and different type of flowers and things that might turn. They turn to a medicine, and therefore, Chachamim, they put a fence. Not only grinding it's asur from the Torah, right? But even taking the pills will be asur mid'Rabbanan. The question is, what do you do in a case that you need a pill? Especially if you're taking a pill that it's a needy pill, if it is because of the heart or if it is because of an antibiotic, what do you do in these cases? So the halakha says that for sure, pills that has to do with danger of life, the chaz v'shalom, if a person does not take it, it can get complicated. So the halakha allows it to take them during Shabbat. That's why all the pills that people are taking in a daily basis, you're allowed to do it. But when it comes to pills that are coming, for example, out of, there's a small headache, you want to take a Tylenol, or take, an Advil, a vitamin, vitamin, there is machloket, because vitamin, the question is if this is considered a pill or not, which means if it's considered a medicine or not. Okay? Why? Because healthy people, they take it, not sick people. Halakha l'maaseh goes like this. If a person has a very easy pain, let's call it this way, that he can act normally, but he has a little bit of a headache or a little bit of a stomach ache, but he can act normally. You see him going back and forth. Everything is fine. He's not weak. In this case, you should not take medicine during Shabbat. You want to take a tea, no problem. You want to take, but don't rush to take a Tylenol for a small headache. But if a person gets into a headache that is making him really weak, and he needs, to go to the bed, to lay down, to relax a little bit, this is already considered choleh she'en bo sakana. Choleh she'en bo sakana means a sick person who is not in danger of life, but is nafal lemishkav. He needs already to lay down. In this case, even though the person is not right now laying down, but he needs that, he will be allowed to take these type of pills during Shabbat. Yeah, even though it's not such a big need, okay, but it's a need right now. It's with a lot of pain. Of course. You're right. Age changes, of course. Okay, Rabotai, I want to share with you something very interesting. I heard something very nice. We just end Chanukah, and we are entering to Parashat Vayigash. And as we all know, Parashat Vayigash, last week's parasha, we stopped the parasha in the middle of the action, right? Yosef is revealing himself. Actually, Yosef is going to reveal himself in this week's parasha. Last week's parasha, Yosef decides to take Binyamin for him. But I want to make a short connection in between Chanukah and this week's parasha. You see, the Greek culture was a culture of perfection. Be perfect. Perfect in your body, perfect in talents, perfect in philosophy, looking for perfection. Actually, if you open up the Sfarim, you will find that the word decrees that the Greek culture had not on Yehudim, on Goyim. All type of boys or girls that were born with all type of defects, okay, in certain cases they were killing them. If a baby boy was being born with all type of autism and things like that, they were killing the boy. Why? He's not perfect. And that was their culture. The culture is you gotta be perfect. You gotta look forward all the time to be perfect. By the way, until today we have this. Until today, profession you gotta be a professional. You gotta be the best. And today, all the world of sport is the same idea. If you're not the top, so nobody's gonna look at you. And here comes the war in between Am Yisrael and the Greek culture. The war that says, in our Judaism, we're not looking to become perfect. In Judaism, in Torah, perfect it's not the name of the game. The name of the game is called effort. We say when a person finishes a Gemara and he does Siyum, so there is a prayer that we say. And we say in that prayer, מודים אנחנו לפניך, ששמת חלקנו מיושבי בית המדרש, ולא שמת חלקנו מיושבי קרנות. Olam, thank you that you gave me the opportunity to sit down in a Beit Midrash to learn Torah, and I'm not just hanging out, wasting my time, making, trying to pass another day. Why? And he says, "Ki anu amenim ve'em amenim." We're putting effort, and the guys out there, they're putting effort. Anu amenim u'mekablim sachar, ve'em amenim ve'enam mekablim sachar. We put effort and we get paid, and they put effort and they don't get paid. Now go out there, any business, and ask them, do you get paid, Habibi? Of course they're going to get paid. Who is working for free? Nobody. So what does that mean? That people out there, they work, right, and they don't get paid? The answer is, out there you work and you get paid for the results that you bring. If you hire a worker and he's not giving you results, okay, next month he's not going to be by you. That's how, right? That's how in the business world works. In Torah, it doesn't work that way. Anu amenim, you put an effort and you get sachar because of the effort, even though you didn't get to the result. That was the fight in between the Hashmonaim and the Greeks. What's the golden life? And I want to tell you something very interesting. There was a Rebbe, Admor, that he used to be very, very makpid on lighting the candles, staying the whole half an hour, preparing himself the candles, huge Hanukkah made up of silver, beautiful. He was pouring the oil. He was sitting down next to the candles, looking at the candles throughout the whole half an hour and praying and then getting connected. Everybody knew of the Hasidim. They knew for the Rebbe, Hanukkah is the most beautiful, beautiful Chag that he has. Fantastic. He says that one time there was a bunch of kids, Hasidim, they were playing around. One of the kids escaped from the other one and he was running around, and he said the best way is to enter to the place where the Rebbe is. There were plenty of Hasidim, plenty of guys. So the kid enters, the first kid enters, and then he realized that the other guy is also after him. So he started to run inside the room. He's running, and by mistake, he hit the menorah, the beautiful big menorah that the Rebbe had. And the whole menorah, after he lighted, the whole menorah fell, all the candles blew up. The kid saw that, He was in shock of himself. He was so embarrassed. He took his legs and he ran away. All the Hasidim, they were so scared, The Rebbe looks around and he finds the father of the kid. He calls him up. Bring me your son. I'm not going to tell you how the son was. He was shaking. He was white. As soon as he gets to the Rebbe, so the Rebbe tells him, in Chanukah, there is many halachot. There is one halacha that says, Kavta en zakuk la, which means, if you light the candles of Chanukah, they had a potential to be lit for half an hour. Suddenly, somebody came and he blew them up. Right? What's the halacha? Are you obligated to relight them again? The answer is no. Kafta en zakuk la. Says the Rebbe to the kid, on Chanukah, I try to do all the halachot and all the chubrot, everything I try to. But I was always asking myself, when I'm going to fulfill the mitzvah of Kafta en zakuk la? So I really want to appreciate so much that he gave me the opportunity to fulfill, in the first time of my life, the mitzvah of the Shulchan Aruch. That if they blow up, you have no obligation to relight it. Very nice. But my dear friends, what's the idea behind it? Why? Why kafta en zakuk la? Why when you light the candles and they blow up, you don't have the obligation to relight it? Relight it! Why not? The answer is because what's the message of Hanukkah? What's the message? What matters is the effort. It's not the result. I don't care if at the end of the day it was lit for the half an hour or not. You put an effort with the potential that it should light half an hour. That's what we're looking for. That's the message behind Hanukkah. And that's why I connected to this week's parasha. Comes Yehuda, right? Vayigash elav Yehuda v'yomer. Bi Adoni. Open up Rashi over there. You read Rashi, you're in shock. Yehuda was not a kiddo. Yehuda came in front of Yosef and he tells him, Habibi, you choose which way you want to take. Don't get mad about what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to be very clear. If the kid is not coming with me, or if the kid is not going back with his brothers, you and Paro will be there right away. And Yehuda was a tough guy. Says the Midrash, Yosef looks at Yehuda and he tells him, hey, what happened? Out of all your brothers, the only one who is talking is you. What happened? Then Yehuda says, Ki avdecha ara v'tanar. I became a guarantor to my brother. And I told my father, Im lo avienu elecha v'chatati lecha kol hayamim. What's v'chatati lecha kol hayamim? Olam hazeh and olam haba. Says Yehuda to Yosef, I took upon myself the responsibility for my brother, and I'm ready to give it all. At that point, Yosef, the Torah says, "Velo yachol Yosef liitapek lechol hanitzavim alav." Yosef cannot hold up himself anymore. And then he says, "Otziu kol ish me'alai." Out everybody from here, right? And then he says, Ani Yosef, Aod Avi Chai, Velo Yachol Echad La'anot Oto, Ki Nivalu Mipanav. Chazal is saying, what's Aod Avi Chai? You already know. Yosef already knew that his father was alive. Says Yosef, Aod Avi Chai, you were talking about taking care of your father, how he's going to feel. Here am I. and my father is still alive? What happened to the arvut? What happened to the guarantor when it comes to me? And that's why the brothers, they couldn't answer back. Answer what? There was no questions over here. Yes, there was a big question. Big question mark. Where were you guys when it came to me as a slave? Says the Gemara, I think it was Rabbi Yosef Bardelan that says, Oy lanu miyom adin, oy lanu miyom atochacha. After 120, we're going to be asked questions. But the question is not, where are you? The question is not, okay, show me what you got. No. The question is going to be, where were you? Which effort did you put? Yosef didn't come to the brothers asking them, okay, how come that you sold me? No. He said, how come that you're not looking forward to find me? That was the question. Where is your effort? You're putting a great effort to Binyamin. Where's your effort now for me? And that's why Chazal is saying that whenever a person, the Gemara writes down, the Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays to the person according to his effort, not according to his results. I'm just going to finish with this. You know, years ago, there was a family in Bnei Berak. This family, you know, very simple family, very peshuta family. And what happened was that unfortunately the father passed away. And the mother took it so hard that she lost her mind. My dear friends, the oldest girl, she was a good girl, no father, almost no mother, no money, and she gets to the age of shidduchim, and she says, who is going to take me? Who is going to take me? She goes, my dear friends, to a certain shatchanit, and she said, she sits down, she says to the shatchanit, listen, I'm coming to you because I really don't have no clue how you're going to help me actually, but I'm coming to you because that's my ishtadlut. And she says over the whole story, and she says to the shatchanit, just tell me who is going to take me. The shatchanit says to her, listen, I want to tell you one thing. I don't know. I don't know who's going to take you. But can I ask you something? Which effort you putting to have somebody to have a good shidduch? Are you doing an effort? Are you doing something? She says, what do you want me to do? And the Shachanit said, I want you to pray. But don't stop praying. I want you to pray out of your heart to Borei Olam. Put your effort, trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm certain that Borei Olam is going to help you out. But I'm going to make the story very short. The Shadchanit ends up with the girl. 2 days later, she gets a phone call from a Rosh Yeshiva. And he says, the Rosh Yeshiva says to the Shadchanit, listen, I have a fantastic boy. Beautiful family. But the boy had, how it's called, diabetes since he's a kid. Okay? Diabetes. And because he has this, he doesn't want to take a health girl. He doesn't. Why? Because he doesn't want to have that feeling that she's the one who's helping him all the time. No. She wants to take somebody that has something. Says, listen, I have a girl. This and this is the situation. Rabotai, they went out. They got engaged. They got married. And the unbelievable story was that on the vort, on the lechaim, there was a friend of the Hatan, a friend of the father of the Hatan, a Hasidic guy. that was there. And he says, who made the shidduch? Says, this woman. He approaches the woman and he says to her, listen, I heard that she's a widow, orphan, and his mother is not well. Yes, I want to pay the whole wedding. I want to pay all her needs. And I want to take her keilu she's my daughter. And then the Shatchanit, with tears in her eyes, says, you know what? When you do an effort, when you put all what you have, even though you're not going to get to the results that you think, Borei Olam is going to take care of you. Borei Olam is going to give it to you. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.